Yeah, this will be the background music, and it will be fine.
Why not? Yeah.
You know, totally be on
Just make sure that you, as you do introduction and stuff, that you mention the background noise. Just say, hey, got a lot going on. We're going to have some background noise, but hey, just bear with us.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, whenever you're ready, Raymond. Make
right.
sure, Nicole, you get close to your microphone when you talk.
Yeah, you want to be right up on it.
You want to be like almost kissing it. Okay, not.
Not quite like that.
Really
Good thing we got Lysol.
Yeah. Gonna need to do that now.
Wipe my nose across it. Okay, we got it all out.
All right, good. Hey, good day, Paranormal Peeps. So we are on location now in Washington State. Jamie and myself decided to travel up and visit some family. And wouldn't you know it, one of our members lives in Washington State. So we'd like to introduce you all to Nicole.
Hello.
And also we have Jamie.
Yo. Sorry, caught me off guard. Yeah. I mean, hello.
So we're at Nicole's residence at the moment, and they are getting ready to move. So please bear with some of the background noise and some of the little talking and stuff that you might hear in the background.
Yes, you'll hear some talking, and I promise they're not EVPs. They're actual people. We can see them.
Yes, they are alive. So we just wanted to let all of you guys meet Nicole and kind of talk about the beginnings of our group. We've been officially together for about, 4 years now?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and Jamie, how would you tell us how we got started with all of this?
Well, if all of our listeners remember our first episode, Meeting Your Peeps, I kind of told the story about how we got this all started. But let me go over it a little bit again. So I've always been in the paranormal from a young age. My husband, Josh, he was, kind of scared of it.
Scared? I was terrified.
Okay. I was being nice. You're a big guy. I just figured saying that you were a whiny girl about it was, not nice, but you want to go there.
Look, I can admit I was absolutely terrified, and I probably would have wet myself back then.
Yeah, maybe. But so I happened to be just looking on my phone, and I came across Waverly tickets. It was a big event that was going on in Louisville, Kentucky, and I wanted to go. And so I took it to Josh, and I said, can we go? Can we buy tickets? And I think tickets were like $255 a piece. And he kind of looked at me, and he was really just kind of hesitant. And he finally said, okay, let's do it. So we pulled the trigger. We bought the tickets. We booked our flights, hotel, rental car. And it was, it was a few months away from then, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we booked the tickets like November.
Yeah. And this was in April of 2017. Anyways, so that's how it all started. And we flew to Louisville, Kentucky, actually Indiana.
Yep, flew to Indianapolis, Indiana.
Got our rental car, went and stayed in the most ghetto motel. I think Josh booked it online through, what was it?
I think it was Priceline.
It was Priceline. And so the picture they show was of this nice room. We're thinking, oh, that's a wicked deal. It's great. He booked it. We get there and we discover that, oh my gosh, I don't know. It was scary.
It was.
It was bad.
The pictures were actually of the other building that they just purchased and remodeled.
Yes.
And so ours had dirt, dust, grime. I think there was some black, maybe mold around the bathroom rings.
Yeah, torn curtains, no lighting,
I'd have been terrified.
Yeah. Yeah, you sit on the toilet, it rocks back and forth like a rocking chair. I mean, it was just that bad. It was disgusting.
It was awful.
You didn't want to touch
gross.
anything. Anyways, but that was in Indianapolis, and it was just a short drive over to Kentucky.
Yeah, we stayed right across the border
Yeah.
from Louisville.
Yeah, so we ended up going. It was a horrible day because it started at like 4 a.m. and we caught our flights. That took forever, delays. We finally get there, drop off our luggage. We head down to the VFW there in Louisville, where we're going to go listen to Josh Gates and Steve Gonzalez, John Zaffis, Dustin Perry, kind of talk a little bit and give their lectures. And I mean, you could just, in the pictures, you just kind of see us. We look like we've kind of partially melted. So we look like The Walking Dead. It was
bad.
Yeah. And we got photographs to prove it. It was horrible. But it was worth it. It was
Absolutely.
worth it. Because the only way we were going to get to meet Josh Gates, which was high on my priority list, was if we went that Friday night, even though our tickets were for Saturday. So they allowed us to go to the lectures on Friday because Josh Gates, at the last minute, his series had gotten renewed. And so he had to be in Chicago. So right after the Friday night lecture, he was leaving. So he wouldn't be there on Saturday.
Yeah, and that was the secret episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Secret.
Yeah.
On Expedition Unknown.
Yeah. And so what was crazy is we thought we were going to miss it.
We did. We were so close to missing it.
We got there an hour late.
Yes.
And yeah, that was awful. And I don't ever recommend this, but I didn't do the speed limit the entire 190 miles. And we made it in record time.
Imagine that.
Yes.
But it was worth it. It was worth it, guys. So Saturday night rolled around and, we kind of drove down back to a residential area in a cul-de-sac where if you looked up the hill, there was Waverly. And Josh kind of hiked up there, but you can't, they have cameras, okay? So you cannot go on, don't put your feet on their property. They will have you arrested.
They will. And I don't know exactly where their property line falls. So best thing to do is not trek up there and risk getting arrested for trespassing.
Yeah, not worth it.
No, absolutely not.
But we got some okay photos.
Sure did.
We didn't trespass. So that was all good. So then we attended the lectures again on Saturday night.
Yes.
And then it was time for investigation.
It was.
So I actually shared a video, I think it was today, that I had taken on Facebook Live of us driving up and parking and getting our first look at Waverly Hills Sanatorium. And it was amazing. You see it on TV, you see it in pictures. It doesn't do it justice.
Not at all.
Not at all. So we get out. Josh is nervous. And I'm like, let me in. Let me go. I want to go. Let's go. And he's a little nervous.
I was still terrified back then.
I was excited. I was thrilled. But we're standing there. They divide us into groups. And I think we were starting down on the first floor with Steve Gonzalez.
Yes.
Our group was. And then, you kind of just rotate. And when you got to the fourth floor, then they said from there on, you can just kind of go where you want. You don't have to be with the group.
Yeah, I know. We were supposed to be rotating. I think that lasted all of probably 20 minutes. And then people just started wandering.
Yeah.
So
Well, the place is massive.
It's massive, and they overbooked it, which is almost impossible to think that you could overbook a venue like that, but they shoved over 100 of us in
About 125 total.
Yeah, in that building, and it was awful. And for those of you who have been in Waverly, the first floor isn't very big. And it does include the death tunnel, which is great, and which is, is where everybody wants to go and investigate. And so then you can't ever get alone. It's hard to get EVPs or any type of real investigation going on. So we decided to go trekking up floors quickly.
Where do we end up? Did we end up at 5 most of the time, I thought?
We ended up on 5 most of the night because that was the one place where people didn't like to hang out other than in front of the nurses' station, the nurses' room where Nurse Mary was found hanging. Other than there, in that room area, most people actually were inside the building.
Yeah.
So,
but we'll cut this a little bit more short. when we kind of wandered back down to the first floor where Steve was, I recorded him and asked him if he could say hi to my family because we were doing Facebook Live, and I had my sisters, my dad, my stepmom, and everybody, and they were all they were watching and they were excited for us, and I wanted to share it with them so bad, and I wish that they were there with me. And so Steve Gonzalez said, "Hey, Morden family," he said, "next time I want to see all of you here." And so that night, after most everybody cleared out, and I think we were almost the last ones to walk out, Josh and I.
The last
along
customers.
With Steve, along with Steve Gonzalez. We talked about it on the way back to our ghetto motel.
Yes.
And we talked about booking a trip 2 years from then and getting Dad and my sisters to go.
Yeah.
And we were so excited. And we ended up talking to the family about it. Everybody was psyched. And we decided we're going to start saving money. We're going to plan this and we're going to do it.
Yep. And that was kind of the birth of, at the time, we were Coldspot of the Heart. And so that was kind of the birth of our paranormal group.
T-shirts and everything.
Oh, absolutely.
We did. We had T-shirts made. We got a cameo from Jason Hawes from Ghost Hunters. We also got a cameo done for us by Grant Wilson from Ghost Hunters. And he was on the Queen Mary when he did his cameo, which was just amazing. I was so thrilled.
Yeah.
And we also got one from, what's his name? From Ghost Adventures. Not Zach, Nick Groff.
Yeah, Nick. That when he was still on Ghost Adventures.
Before he, actually, no, it's after he had left.
Was it?
Yeah. So we got cameos. They wish Coldspot of the Heart a great investigation at Waverly Hills Sanatorium. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah. I was shocked that we even got half the stuff we did with how fast our stuff was draining in power.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk a little bit about before the investigation. Let's talk about the start of the trip. So the start of the trip was Dad and my sister, Nicole, driving from Deer Park, Washington to Saratoga Springs, Utah. Nicole, tell us a little bit about how that trip was, just you and Dad.
Man. So obviously we're tired. We tried leaving at 3, 4 in the morning, something like that.
Yeah, you sent me a video.
Yes. And we're driving, we're getting gas. We're all excited because we know what we're doing. And it was within an hour of driving that we realized how early it really was.
It's a long drive.
We had to switch. We switched back and forth with driving. He drove sometimes, I drove other times. But, you use your GPS. When you're going somewhere, especially Kentucky or Utah, places you've never been, you use GPS.
Absolutely.
My dad did not like GPS. That's not how you go. You got to go this way, not that way.
Isn't that just like a dad?
Yeah. I don't care what your phone says.
I know a shortcut.
But the drive there was just great. I mean, I've been before this trip, the only place I'd been farthest away was Missouri. And that was on a plane. So being in a car for this whole
Big
trip,
difference.
amazing.
Yeah.
I thank God every day that I was able to go on that trip. And it was phenomenal.
So what'd you think of Utah, the mountains, and what'd you think when you saw how close those were? And
Yeah, so I hear Utah, or at least I used to hear Utah, and I'm thinking what probably other people think when they're thinking of Utah is...
Mormons?
Well, yes.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, flat. I'm just thinking, okay, it's going to be flat around there. It's heading towards, Nope, we get there and there are mountains everywhere, and it's gorgeous.
Snow-capped mountains.
Yes, and it's beautiful.
It is.
Gosh, I loved it. And that little coffee shop. Oh, there's a coffee shop across from your guys' apartment that I went to every morning.
That's true. I remember you doing that.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's still real busy today, too. You go over there in the morning, there's about 12, 15 cars piled up in that drive-through just to get coffee. So, yeah, it's still popular.
It's popular, and yeah, I've never went over there and gotten a coffee.
Oh, you
Never.
should.
It's a shame.
Really?
I don't know why. What's wrong with
Do you
me?
drink coffee?
I drink coffee.
I
know, what's wrong with
to
me?
your apartment?
Right. Instead, we drive over to the next town and get a coffee. I don't
Yeah.
get it. I'm sorry.
It doesn't make any sense. So you guys stayed with us, 2 days before we officially took the trip?
Yes, I took over Azariah's bedroom.
Yes. And Dad was in the guest room, so everybody was comfortable.
As
worked
I
out
was in
well.
the closet.
The walk-in closet.
Yeah.
On an air mattress. We kind of built him a fort, and kids, he loved it.
Yeah.
Heck, I almost slept in there. I like forts. Come on.
Who doesn't?
So after 2 days, we were on the road and we left early. We left
was
early.
really early, yeah.
The sun was not even up.
No.
And we hit snow and kind of a little bit nasty roads.
Yeah, I think the sun was still down when we hit Wyoming, and then that's when we hit the snowstorm right as we entered into Wyoming.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that was a bit nuts.
Yeah.
But we got to watch the sun come up, you guys.
That's true. But Dad and I got our own little creepy hotel room story when you guys stayed in that, what is it called? A
Yurt.
yurt. I kept wanting to call it a Yeti. When you stayed in a yurt and we were like, no, we're going to stay in this motel.
Yeah.
And it was ones, it doesn't even have the card. It still has a key. So they give you a key with a
Nice.
keychain. I'm going, this doesn't make me feel good. We open it and I'm looking around going, oh, at least we're just sleeping. We're just sleeping. But I needed to shower. I get in the shower, either burning your skin hot or ice cold.
Right.
And Dad can hear me screaming. He's like, on the phone with Mom going, yeah, I don't think the shower works.
At least not well.
No. I was like, we should have just stayed in a yurt.
Yeah, exactly. So our first stop on this trip was Lincoln, Nebraska for the night. And I think Josh picked out the hotel. And it was a nice one.
Yeah.
It was a nice one. I remember Dad being kind of mad at the price. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you got to pay a little more. I think we paid like 84 or 85, whatever.
Yeah.
But they were nice rooms. And they were comfortable beds. And we got a good night's sleep.
Ours had a jacuzzi, which
Ours had a
never got
jacuzzi.
used.
No, we
that
were...
would have been the first thing I did.
Oh, we were so tired. We were so tired. And so the next morning, we all get up, we shower, and Nicole sends me this picture. She texts me this picture on my cell phone, and it's of her, like, with a cup of coffee, looking all groggy and her glasses on crooked. And so it was funny. It was a great way to start the day with a laugh. And we were on the road again.
Yep. And that's when we crossed over into Missouri and then started heading south towards St. Louis.
Yes. And we got to see the St. Louis Arch, which was pretty cool. Is that
Yep.
where we
That's it.
all ate at the Cracker Barrel?
That's
Yes.
where we ate the Cracker
Yes.
Barrel, yeah.
I got to go up in that arch. one
Did you
year
really?
When I was in Missouri, when I lived there for a very short amount of time.
Right.
I still don't. I remember it being expensive. That's all I remember. But you get to go up to the top, and of course the windows are arched.
Right.
So when you look out, man, you want to talk about something that's going to put you on your butt? It makes
Really?
you dizzy. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I could do it. I like seeing it from afar as we kind of drove over the bridge and around.
Yeah.
And that was good enough for me.
And then hooked left and went west.
Yes.
Or, sorry, east. And then we made it Kentucky the second day.
We did.
We stayed in that beautiful, the Hilton.
Yeah,
Is that what it was?
Hilton Home to Suites or
Home to
something
Suites
like
or
that.
something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was nice.
Yeah.
And it was
Beautiful.
big enough for all of us to stay together. So there was Josh, myself, and there was our son, and then there was Nicole and Dad.
Yeah.
And we were all able to fit in there comfortably without, like, tripping over each other and being in each other's way. And it just worked out really great. Now,
That was when I did the joke on him.
Yeah.
We were in
it
that
was.
room.
So it was April Fool's. It was April 1st. And Nicole decides, hey, I got this great joke I want to play on Dad. And so I'm like, okay, I'll film it. And so she pretends to get a phone call. And tell them what you did.
So I'm sitting like right next to Dad on one of the beds, and he's, sitting with his legs off to the side, facing Jamey and Stacy, Jamey and Josh. And so I go like this. I'm telling them, go with it. And I have my phone to my ear, and I was like, yeah, this is Nicole, and making it seem like the bank's calling me to tell me that I'm overdrawn and I don't have any money. And granted, we just got to Kentucky. So obviously, I'm going to need more money throughout this trip. But I made sure she was taping it so that I could see the look on Dad's face.
It was priceless.
And he was like, what the hell are we going to do? And I finally looked at him and told April Fools. And he was, let's just say some choice words came out of his mouth.
But he did kind of chuckle after he was done
Yes.
cussing her out.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was fun.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah. So the day of our Waverly investigation. So we had it that next day on in the evening, but during the day we ended up like going to Walmart. We bought I think you bought like a little Simon Says toy. We bought some chalk. We bought,
A ball.
because, Timmy's supposed to be on the third
Marbles.
floor. Yeah, marbles. Little boy on the third floor, Waverly Hills.
I
So
still
we
have the
thought,
duck that says for Timmy on it.
That's awesome.
I should have left it there.
He's probably, well, maybe he came to get it. So we did that, and then we decided to go to Churchill Downs where they have the Kentucky Derby, and we took the tour there. We went through the museum, and that was amazing. We had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, they had some beautiful things there. So
And it was, I think it was like 2 weeks before the actual Derby. So we were
It was
pretty close to
close.
Derby time when we were there.
yeah, it was close, but we did that, and that was a lot of fun. And then they took us down to the racetrack, so you can kind of go down there.
It was just beautiful.
Oh, yeah,
I was like,
and-
nobody touch it.
Don't touch it; it's beautiful
Don't
dirt.
touch the dirt. It's great.
It's beautiful dirt. So we ended up doing that, and then I think we went to eat, and then we went back to the hotel because we all were going to try and take naps before it was go time,
Yep.
which didn't work out for
I
you
don't-
and I, Josh. I heard Nicole snoring.
I was snoring
Yeah,
in the middle
you-
of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You took a nap and you were snoring. It was soft. It was very ladylike snoring. So
I was like,
you're
I
good.
didn't think I snored.
It wasn't a chainsaw or a bomb going off
Oh,
or
that's a
anything like
plus.
that.
Good. I'm glad.
Trust me, if it was, I would have recorded it and let you know.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, we kind of all tried to take a nap, and then Stacy and Karina. So Stacy, who's our brother, him and his wife caught a flight from Washington into Kentucky. We all kind of donned our Coldspot the Heart shirts, and we watched the cameos. I took some pictures of everybody, and we were pretty much off to Waverly after that.
Yep.
Gotta say, seeing that building, like when you're driving up, you can't see it. You can't see the building until you get parked, and then you come out of those doors and to just look up, and it is the definition of awesome.
Yes.
The way that this building looked.
It's a little intimidating.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. It just kind of looms over you, and you just feel that energy coming off of it.
Yeah. So what's really neat is the first time we went there, we had 125 people in the building with us.
Right. It was a public one.
So and it was a public investigation. The second time we went, we had 8.
8 people in that entire building.
Yep.
It was amazing.
And where do we choose to start off the entire night?
Death tunnel.
Death Tunnel.
Yes.
And so for those that don't know, our dad had an artificial leg. But this is, and it bothered him. I mean, obviously it's not the most comfortable thing. I know it gave him a lot of problems and kind of pain and stuff. But this man, I was amazed. He made it all the way down that death tunnel. And he made it all the way back up.
And still did all, 6 floors?
5.
5 floors, yeah.
Yeah, and he did. He did. I was blown away. He was determined. This was a trip of a lifetime, I think, for him.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I mean, for all of us, really. And it was just, it amazed me. He amazed me.
He did, one of the things that when we were going down the death tunnel, he says, you stand on the slope, I'm going to take the stairs. And I had a hold of him, but like you said, he did an amazing job.
He did
Yeah.
amazing.
He couldn't even make it through most of Churchill's. But when it came to Waverly, he wasn't going to quit.
Yeah, he did not give up.
Nope.
Not once.
No.
Amazing.
So when we're down at the bottom of the death tunnel doing our first, EVP session and that stuff going on, what did you guys feel? How did you guys feel down there?
There was a lot of echo in that
Yes.
in the tunnel. A lot of echo, which had me confused as, wait, did I really just hear something or not?
Right.
And I know that usually when you ask a question and you want an answer, you got to be quiet afterwards. Sometimes that wasn't being done, a lot. You'd ask a question and then stop 2 seconds, ask another question. And
Oh, I think it was the excitement. I think we were
Yeah.
just all charged
Yeah.
and just like ready.
yes, we were.
It was really hard to just zip it
Yeah.
for too
No kidding.
long.
But the echoing was throwing me off, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and when Josh and I went through the audio and video of the death tunnel, we didn't get anything.
No.
No. And it does happen. I mean, you're not going to get something every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, you should feel blessed that when you do get stuff, because it's not easy for spirits to communicate at times, and the conditions have to be right. And so, with the digital recorders and stuff, it definitely didn't, we definitely didn't get anything down there this time, and we've gotten things down in the tunnel before. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was really neat.
Yeah.
And then we went back up. The interesting thing is, so first floor and death tunnel, like I said, are connected. But because when we went actually in cold time, in April. And so they block off part of the section. So in order to get into the death tunnel, you have to go through the outside and then to the tunnel. And
That's right. Yeah.
we had to, kind of make a special trip for that. So we decided to start off there. And then when we got back up to the gift shop and our base camp, we decided to split up.
We did.
Yes,
Where
we
did you
did.
and Dad start off? Do you remember?
Yeah, Dad and I went to the third floor.
Right.
We went to the third. I think that was the floor that had my name all over the walls.
Oh, yeah, it was everywhere. In
It
fact,
was
we got a
everywhere.
picture of you squatting
Yep.
down. And I think that's in the video, too, that we took.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. I was like, that says Nicole. Some of it said Nicole, some said Nikki. And I'm looking around going, okay.
It's kind of cool, but kind of creepy.
A little creepy.
And I know you went with us to the prison beforehand on an investigation, but you didn't, because of the weather and stuff, you didn't really investigate. So this was really your first investigation.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. I mean, I know I experienced some cool things at Deer Lodge, excuse me. But I don't know what it was. I got so cold and like
Well, it
shaky
was.
that-
We had that
Yeah.
snowstorm. It was like 18.
18. It was cold.
It was
yeah, it
cold.
was
That was a
freezing.
tough one.
And here I am in a shirt and t-shirt with a leather leather
Coat.
jacket on.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with you.
I don't either. Yeah, no.
I don't know why you weren't warm. I mean,
I went through some of it. I didn't get to go through all of it, which I can't wait to go back so
Yeah.
I can.
absolutely.
And
It's kind of become a tradition.
yes,
has.
yes.
But so you and Dad were on the third floor, and I think Stacy and Karina, were they down on the second or were they on the first?
No, they stayed on the first floor. They went to the electroshock therapy room.
That's right. I thought, okay, and then you and I took the fourth.
We went into the fourth. We went to surgical.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is that the one where we climbed in to where they had the bodies?
Oh, no. No, that was the morgue.
That was the morgue.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That was the morgue.
So the electroshock therapy room is across the hall from the morgue.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So that way, if you fried them too hard, you can just put them in the.
Well, at least they're next to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice, Josh.
Thank you.
But Josh and I started up on the fourth floor. We went into the surgical room. We put down a camera on a tripod, a digital recorder.
Yep.
And we decided, you know what, we're going to leave it there. We're going to walk away. So this surgical room, they had a team come in before, and they were kind of provoking the spirits. And the door slammed shut, and they couldn't get it open. And the fire department had to come, and they couldn't get it open. So from then on, when they finally got these folks out, from then on, they put this metal kind of pipe to hold the door open so that if it slams shut, it can't fully shut because the pipe's in the way.
Yeah.
So I was a little nervous because I was like waiting
What if
for
it
it to
shuts?
happen. And I thought, they probably know what I'm thinking. It's going to happen. But anyways, we left the digital recorder and the tripod camera there. And we wandered down to the other end of 4, clear down the other end. And you can kind of hear us on the digital, fading away as we walk. But what we picked up, and did we pick that up on the video or on just the recorder?
No, that was just on the digital itself.
Okay, so what we picked up is what sounds like shuffling around the devices that we left on the floor in the middle of surgical. Kind of like, doctors will wear the booties over their feet, and that's what it sounds like. And you hear off and on, and then you hear what sounds like kind of like a pebble or something, like they kick it as they're dragging their feet.
Yep.
So we hear that a few times. And I remember as I was going through the digital recorder audio, I was just sitting there and it got real quiet because after our voices fade out, it's just quiet. And then I'm like half asleep, but I'm listening with the headphones on. And all of a sudden you hear a woman scream, "Help me," out of nowhere.
Yeah,
It kind of curdles your blood a little bit.
little bit.
Yeah, it was really scary. And the thing is, Josh and I were up on that floor, and in the time that we were recording all this, we never heard nothing. This was only came across on the digital recorder.
Yeah, and we were, by the time, I think we were at the very other end of 4 when we picked up that EVP.
We were, because you couldn't hear us.
No.
Yeah, we were quite a ways away.
But what's amazing is Jamie had a digital recorder on her that she was carrying. And that picked up that scream.
Yes. Yeah, I did.
So 2 digital recorders about 500 feet apart.
Or more.
And picked up the same
big
EVP.
building. Yeah.
So it's absolutely amazing.
It was amazing. Did you and Dad have anything happen to you down on 3rd?
One of the things that we did, Dad was really good at asking the questions, and then just waiting to hear something back. And I remember, I swear I heard someone go, "Hi there."
Nice.
And so we're listening to it over again. "Hi there. Hi there." And I was like, that wasn't me. Because Josh, one of the things you taught me with this is don't whisper. If you're going to talk, talk.
Yep.
Because you don't want to be confused with, something coming through.
Exactly.
And so that's one of the things that we are doing. Well, here's the thing. We caught some stuff on 3rd. We definitely caught stuff on 5th. And the recorder we got, we didn't give it to Josh to let us know how to use it because we thought this light that kept going off meant it was recording. No, it cut off when silence. When silence hit, it cut off and just went right back to when somebody was talking.
Yeah, so it's voice activated.
Exactly. So then it does sound like we're saying, "Is someone here? What's your name?" Exactly. I'm like, why is there no space? I know there was space. But that whole investigation, we got nothing because of it.
We always learn the hard way, don't we?
Yes.
But that's a good lesson to learn. So all of you out there, if you guys do go out on an investigation and do have a digital recorder, if it has active voice recording where it turns on and records when there's voices being spoken or words being spoken, don't let it be on that mode or you're going to miss stuff because most of the time spirits do not come through loud enough to set that off. And so you're just going to miss a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And the cool part about the floor with Timmy on it is the duck. I sat down in the middle of the hallway.
Right.
And the marbles. Because I figured, well, geez, how old was Timmy and how long ago was this? They probably played marbles.
Right.
So then we left him right there, said, "Go ahead and play with those. Those are yours." And just kept walking around to see if we can get anything else. Well, when we came back, the duck was in the same spot, but the marbles had spread. Now, again, I'm putting marbles down on a concrete floor. Maybe they're just moving to move. But I made sure they were sitting still when we left.
Yeah.
And when I came back, the marbles were moved, which was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I want to talk a little bit about when we all went up as a group onto 5.
Up to 5?
Up to 5. And we talked about Nurse Mary. I know that Nicole did the speak and spell. Or not speak and spell, but the Simon Says little electronic game. And I know that we picked up a few pretty good EVPs up there.
Full sentence EVPs.
Yes.
Which are amazing in themselves.
Absolutely.
Didn't we get one of the best ones was when we were out on the dock on the top floor, right? Or not the dock, the deck. We were over and we swore that we saw a dark mass walk by.
Oh, yeah, and it was low to the ground,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And it kind of flew across the doorway on the outside portion of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when Stacy, Karina, and myself went off to what would have been the kids' wing.
Yeah, you didn't go far.
No,
we could hear you.
No, we didn't go far. But if you go up on 5, there's 2 sections. So when you come up, there's the elevators and there's a nursing station area. And then off to the one side, you have the children's wing, essentially. That's where the little kids, the little kids, that's where they stayed.
Yes.
And then on the other side was what was the critical care wing. So those are the people that were really bad off.
Yeah.
And so Stacy, Karina, and myself, we went off to the child side, and we kind of left you guys in the middle and kind of do your own thing.
Yep.
So is that when you guys saw whatever it is you saw?
Well, Nicole saw it. I never saw it. I don't think Dad saw it either. But it sure made her jump.
Yeah. And it was crazy because we had gone through so much already. I mean, pretty sure we caught EVPs, and the stuff that we were hearing. But that was the first time during that trip, or wouldn't say ever, because when I was younger, that's what got me into this stuff was what I saw. But first time during this trip that I saw something that really made me just jump.
Right. And of course, we tried to debunk it. And we, we couldn't come up with anything. It doesn't mean that it was paranormal. But it definitely leaves you to question.
A black wolf?
So
just on top of the hospital.
Did it look like an animal? What did you see?
It was low to the ground, that's for sure. But I swear it was a person because you could the way it was running, the way it did this. You can't see me. Why am I saying that? Yeah. The way, when you're booking it, It looked
Yeah.
like that, and it just went whoosh,
Okay.
right across.
So
And then
are we thinking like what, knee high, hip high?
about hip high?
About hip high.
Are we thinking leprechaun?
Yes. Leprechaun. Let me pot of gold.
Me pot of gold. Yeah, it's really ridiculous.
So it sounds like you saw a little child.
It could have been a child. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
With its size, yeah, definitely.
So let's talk a little bit about the couple of EVPs that we got. There was a couple in there that really, well, one made me laugh. One really creeped me out. So I'm going to tell the one about where Nicole was talking to Nurse Mary, and we were outside of the nurse's station there, and the location where Mary was found hung.
Yep.
And she's talking, and as she's talking about how she's sorry that Mary had died in that manner and what she went through, you hear this male voice come through, and it says, "I want to strangle her." And it's clear. It's what I would say is a Class A EVP.
Yeah,
it
most
is
definitely.
very clear. It is very pronounced. And it was really creepy. But then we ended up getting another one down a little ways on 5 where Josh, Stacy, and Karina were. You remember that one, Josh?
Yeah. And so that wasn't my recorder that picked it up, was it? That was yours, right?
You know, I'm really not sure which one it was.
Okay,
I just
'cause-
know it was down there. You were talking, you were asking some sort of a question, and you said something about Stacy.
Yeah, so I was doing a dowsing rod session at the time, and so I was asking if the spirit was standing behind Stacy and Karina, because you kind of get that feeling that something was over in that area, and so we get this another Class A EVP come through that says, "I think she's a prostitute."
Oh,
Yes.
that's right.
And I cracked up. I just lost it. I was like, "Oh, you smart ass ghost." But you know, here's the really interesting part, though. This is what really got me is the EVP that I got saying I want to strangle her, and the one that was down by Josh, Stacy, and Karina saying I think she's a prostitute is the exact same male voice.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So he was definitely, whoever this spirit was, he wasn't nice. And he was definitely kind of following us around up there.
So I think you have a theory on who the spirit was, correct?
Correct. I really believe, so, you know, there's so many, you know, you can kind of do some research and do some digging online about Nurse Mary there at Waverly. You know, some say she hung herself, that she was having an affair with a doctor, and she became pregnant. And when she told him, you know, he didn't want anything to do with her, and it broke her heart. And so they say she hung herself. Well, now there's other stories of where this doctor tried to perform an abortion on Mary. He botched it, and she died. And so him and like an orderly or whatever there kind of hung her outside of the nurse's station to make it look as though she hung herself. But there's a lot of controversy kind of surrounding this.
Yeah.
You know, they're saying, well, if she hung herself, why was she bleeding from her abdomen and all this stuff? So there's a lot of, you know, other theories out there. But I get the sense that it was this doctor. I really get the sense that those EVPs that we got, it was him.
Yeah, I think, you know, that part, I mean, I kind of get the same feeling with that because it's so ominous and it's so almost angry in a way. Like,
it was very angry. I mean, how can you really go and say, I want to strangle her, and I think she's a prostitute? He's very insulting, very negative.
yeah.
Angry doesn't, I don't think, begin to cover it.
No, I don't think so. You know, the interesting thing too, though, and I think that the one thing that people have to understand is, like, you know, they're like, well, why didn't they investigate the death and all of that stuff? Because all of this was during the tuberculosis pandemic. People, I don't think they always realize, at that time, Waverly was its lockdown type of quarantine city. So, you know, you went there and, you know, you either got better or you didn't. And the staff wasn't allowed to leave. So they stayed on the top of this hill until the pandemic was over. And so they would have done their own autopsy at the time and their own investigation into, what happened. And so it's very possible that the very doctor that killed her is the one that wrote her death certificate.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I also want to talk a little bit about when we went down to the morgue, and that's where they have the slabs where they put, the drawers where they put the bodies. Josh went down there, and he crawled in there first on the bottom one. They have like a plywood board down there, and you're allowed to crawl down on the bottom one.
Did I go in first? I thought Nicole went in first.
Yeah, I was pretty sure I went in first.
Did you went in first?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right
so
on the bottom.
maybe Nicole went in first. How'd you feel in there?
Not great, and not just because I'm a little claustrophobic,
Right.
but you get in there and everybody, is quiet. Your group's quiet, and you lay there, and it's just that feeling of chill all down your body, like you would have seen goosebumps everywhere with the way it felt.
How could you not?
Yeah. And then I said, okay, yeah, I'm done. Let me get me out of here.
she wasn't in there long. I don't blame her. I wasn't. The thing is, I would have crawled in there, but I don't know if I could have got back out.
It was hard.
It was tough. Yeah.
I think it was the biggest individual.
You're broad-shouldered.
Yeah, I'm not a small guy, and it was tough to crawl in there. In fact, I'm pretty sure we have a video or some audio of me going, "Ow, my butt."
Sounds about right.
I didn't think anything of it, guys. He says that all the time.
But yeah, it was definitely surreal. Kind of laying in that spot. Like it's not it's just a piece of plywood, right? So it's not the actual body trays or anything like that.
No, but knowing how many people had lied there before you
Well,
Yeah.
and the sides
that had passed.
Yeah, the sides is what got me. I'd go in there and I have my hands on the sides, and all I'm thinking of is, this sounds really ridiculous, but who else touched these? But they get put in there when they're already passed.
Yeah.
So that was a weird thought to have. But in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm touching something someone already touched, and it seems weird to think that way, but that's exactly what was going through my head.
Oh, I totally understand it. Yeah. Well, we ended up leaving a digital recorder there on one of the autopsy tables.
Yeah.
And we walked away. We went back to base camp, which was the gift shop, try to regroup, get a drink, change out batteries and stuff. So we just left that running. And then we came back and collected it later. And when Josh and I were reviewing it, you can hear what sounds like rocks or pebbles being thrown inside that. Was that an elevator shaft? What was that?
Yeah, that was that was like the service elevator.
Yeah. And so, and the funny thing is there are reports of rocks being thrown inside there.
Was that the same elevator shaft that guy died in?
Oh, the homeless man.
Yes.
I
And
don't
his
know.
dog.
Waverly's
I don't
got
know.
2 elevators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
okay.
And I don't
Yeah.
know which one.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the one.
Okay. Yeah, the pebbles getting thrown, that was a big one. It's like, where's this coming from?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could hear it. You could hear it, and so it was definitely neat that we caught that on the digital too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
And then I think after that, I think we all kind of split up and I guess we went up to 3 again, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And that's when we brought the big rubber ball up there and see if we could get Timmy to interact with the big rubber ball.
Yeah, Nicole and I moved the trash can in the middle of the hall and kind of left it there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think the rest of the night was actually pretty uneventful, wasn't it? I don't think we saw or heard too much after that.
I mean,
There
we had some personal experiences, but it was
Well,
mostly quiet.
Yeah, I think one of Dad's big things that he would bring up is how he got locked out of Waverly.
He did. So all of us, where were we? We were up on,
Were
Were we up on 3?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we were up on 3 at this time.
and we get this text saying, "I'm locked out."
Yeah.
And we're like, "What do you mean you're locked out?
How are
How'd
you
you get
locked
locked out?" And yeah, so we had to go and we let him in. But
Yeah. But it was just weird because even the guy that was in the gift shop said, that's not locked. Mm-hmm. And Dad was trying to get in. He goes, no, it was locked. And he says, no, it's not locked. He knew Dad was outside. He said, I wouldn't have locked it. But Dad
Yeah.
couldn't get back in.
It was strange. Definitely strange.
Yeah, that is weird.
So, but that was pretty much our night
Yeah.
there.
And it was, 8 hours?
It was an 8-hour
8-hour one,
investigation.
yeah.
So, and it's amazing how fast 8 hours goes when
No
you're out
kidding.
investigating.
When you're not freezing.
Right? When you're not freezing. And it goes by really quick. And, you think 8 hours, you're like, wow, that's a long time. You get into it, and yet it's almost like you blink and you're done.
It was just,
Yeah.
even if we wouldn't have picked up anything, that it's a piece of history, just to go through it in general was just amazing.
Yeah, just to be there in that building with all that history.
And this is the first time I ever actually did any, not editing, what's the word I'm looking for? Investigating, like I put headphones on. I went into what we did catch and I wrote down the times and everything. Yeah. And then I sent them to you guys. Remember? I was like, hey, it's these. Do you hear what I hear? And and it felt cool, actually. And that was time that went by fast, too. I was sitting there on the computer for 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. You get so involved in it that you just don't realize the hours are passing so quickly.
Yeah. So, how did you guys feel in the building? What do you guys have any, emotion just being in that building in itself?
That's actually really funny you mentioned that, because the only person I told this to was Dad. I was still a little tired. We tried resting, that day, but it was hard when you're excited about something. So the minute we walked into that building, I felt like I had just had 3 cups of coffee. I was unbelievably caffeinated and ready to go. And it stayed that way. Instead of when at Deer Lodge, I just kept getting tired and no energy. And this one, it was almost the exact opposite. And that's how I felt. And every single time I went to ask a question, it was weird. It's like I knew which ones wouldn't get answered and which ones would. And that was just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, when I walked in, that was the second time that Josh and myself had been there.
Yep.
But when we walked in, I said, I'm home. Because I really felt like I was returning home in a way. You feel all these emotions just coming at you. You're glad that you're there. I was thrilled to be there again. I was truly thrilled.
Yeah, it was exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting. But you also feel the weight of what happened there.
Oh, yeah.
You feel the fear, of being scared.
Mary's
not like
was. Yeah. I was actually scared in that area.
Yeah, the emotion. The people, the sick people thinking, I'm never coming out of here. This is it. You feel it all.
Yeah,
and it can be overwhelming if you let it. For sure.
Yeah, and the building itself, I think, has a very heavy kind of feeling to it, the property itself, right? Because a lot of people lost their lives in that building during the pandemic, and also after that when it became a nursing home and other things. And so you kind of feel all of that weight on you.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
So... but yeah, that was, that was a wonderful time. I think we all had a great time, and we're all looking forward to going back.
Yes, definitely.
Oh yeah, I think we were already kind of talking about making another plan before we left.
Yeah.
There was just far too many places to go and investigate that I have in my head. I would love to go to Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast.
Oh yeah.
That would be amazing.
That just sold. Did you hear that?
It did?
It just, for $2 million.
Are they... Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Are they keeping it a bed and breakfast,
Yeah, they actually are.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, so after all of that, we had a rest day.
Yes. The next day.
The next day was a rest day because, let's face it, you walk out of someplace at 3 o'clock in the morning and that's not a bar. You kind of need some time to refresh and relax a little bit, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So we ended up going out to the Mega Caverns.
Mega Caverns.
Yeah, which is in Louisville.
I remember that.
It was fun. It was a suggestion that Stacy had made, and we're like, we're in. And it was neat, though, because they put you in like this vehicle that doesn't have a top, and they take you all through these caverns, and you're going under places in Louisville like the zoo. They're like, oh, the zoo's above us, and and this is above us, and you're just like, you can't believe it, See,
and that's probably the one thing we did on that trip that I was not a fan of. Every time they kept telling us how deep we were underground, I grabbed Dad's arm and he goes, relax, you're fine. And they have people underground lining.
Yeah, they did.
And I'm going, okay, that would be fun, but upstairs, up that way.
Yeah, well, it was massive.
And there's a BMX dirt bike course there.
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah, there is. That's true.
And the crazy thing was during the Cold War, they actually use that as a contingency fallout shelter in case of nuclear strike during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yep.
So this place is, it's massive. I think it was like an hour-long tour that you go through, and
Are you sure it wasn't a 3-hour tour?
it was definitely not
3-hour
3 hour tour.
I'm sorry I had you. The SS Minnow.
Guess that would make me Gilligan.
Oh, you know who that makes you?
I'm the skipper. But, something else that was really cool is they have storage under there in the mega caverns. Because it stays about 65 degrees year round, they store like Hollywood film. They have props like the family, roadster or whatever, or what does he call it on vacation?
Yeah, I think it's the family.
Oh, the family truckster from National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah.
So they store those things there because the temperature is so consistent that it doesn't break down or ruin them, and so they can keep them there and preserve them.
I think they also have office space down there too that you can rent
They
out.
They do.
So like, you can definitely work underground. In that environment, which is crazy.
Does that not terrify you guys?
No.
Really?
Now, if I was down there by myself,
By yourself, you'd be scared.
I'd be scared.
But
Can you
what
imagine
if
being
this-
down there?
Yes, but what if this thing caves in? See, I can't do underground stuff.
Well, at least it will be quick.
Right? See, I can do underground, no problem. Put me 200, 300 feet in the air.
See,
I'm gonna
and
fall-
I'm the exact opposite.
I'm going to,
I'll jump out
fall
of a
off.
plane. I will. As long as I know the parachute works.
No guarantees.
Nope. So, so after that, I think we kind of rested up and we left the next day. And we kind of started our meandering trip home, mainly because we went to St. Louis, which is southwest. And then we went southeast,
Yeah.
which is not the way back to Utah.
No, not at all. And where were we going, Josh?
We were going to Branson, Missouri.
Yes.
Branson.
So anybody that knows Nicole knows that she is a huge Titanic fan.
Small.
And in Branson, Missouri, they have one of the Titanic museums.
And it was shaped like the darn ship. It's
Yes.
huge, this building. They had the whole aft of the ship. And it was amazing. And then, of course, they tell you, well, no video or anything inside
No
the building.
cameras,
I'm going,
yeah.
What? And I walk right into what looks just like the main staircase where the clock
grand
was. The grand
staircase.
staircase where the clock was.
Beautiful.
And I actually start crying. And I wish so bad I could have taken out my phone and just went click and put it back, but I didn't want to get kicked out of something
Yeah.
I really wanted to see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know it was a replica of everything, but that building did have somewhat of a heavy feeling. I mean, you could
Oh, yeah.
almost feel like the water rushing in and running up the staircase, and there was just kind of that, I don't know, almost foreboding feeling in the building.
Like that moment on the deck. You know, they had this fake deck, an iceberg you can touch.
Yeah.
Josh and I stuck our hands in cold water to see how long we could keep it in. But
Yep.
it felt like we honestly were like, wow, this is so cool. How'd you guys get this to move on the deck? And the lady says, it's not moving. It's, this is a building.
Yeah,
It's
she's like,
straight.
this is a concrete building, guys.
But you stand on that deck and it feels like you're
it feels
on a
like
boat.
it's cutting
Yeah.
waves.
Yeah, it really does.
It does.
It really does.
And you can feel it, and it's right on the outside. So you walk in, and there's a wheelhouse and like the bridge area, right? And then you walk out a door, and that's where you'd walk on what would be the front of the boat. And they kind of have the temperature down in that area to give it more of a feeling of what it would have been like that night. But yeah, that's what you kind of feel. And you could feel this, like the undulation of a boat moving.
So, okay, so before we
I'm sorry,
went...
that was Jim, just to make sure, because all I heard was whispering.
I did too.
I'm going,
Yeah.
what's that?
Whispering for the recorder. But didn't we go to Uranus Fudge Factory before we hit the Titanic Museum?
We did, because we left, no pun now, the butt crack of dawn. And so we were traveling. It's a 4.5 hour, 5 hour drive from Louisville to Branson, Missouri. And it's not if it was a straight shot, I think we'd get there in an hour and a half. But you have to drive in basically a giant U
Yeah.
to get there.
But we started seeing these billboards.
We did, and you were taking a slight nap at the time, and so I was
was.
seeing them, and all you could see was the best fudge comes from Uranus. And I thought it was a joke until we started seeing more of them, and I'm like, oh, we have got to stop at the fudge factory.
Yeah, and a hilarious story about this. So, Dad and Nicole are following our car, and we get to the parking lot. We pull in, and we're like, well, they weren't that far behind us. So we kind of get out, and we're walking towards the front door of the factory, and Nicole calls, and she's like, where are you guys going? It's back there. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, we're following you, and you passed it. And I'm like, no, we're in the parking lot.
Following a completely different car that's the same color.
But not the same make.
No.
All I looked for was maroon.
Yeah, Dad was following somebody else completely. It wasn't
absolutely.
us.
We made it there.
We made
eventually.
So, yeah, and that was, I mean, they play that up so much about being in Uranus. You walk in, and they're like, welcome to Uranus.
Best fudge factory. The best
Uncle
fudge
Jim's
comes
laughing.
from Uranus. So of course
then-
we had to buy some fudge.
Absolutely. And then you get done, and you check out, and they're like, did we pack your fudge tight enough for you?
Please come again.
So, and and the funny thing is because Dad and Nicole weren't like right behind us, and we got into the store first, I was ready with my camera, and I was recording it as they walk through, and as the gal behind the counter says, welcome to Uranus, and the look on Nicole's face and Dad's face is priceless.
Phenomenal.
Oh man.
But they had some amazing things in there. I mean, it was all just hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we stopped.
I am too. And that's one of the things that is phenomenal about taking a road trip versus taking a flight is you're going to miss those little things.
Exactly. Yes.
You see so much more on the road.
You do.
We could have gone we could have gone way off course and gone to the four states.
Oh, the
Four
four corners?
Four corners, yeah.
We had discussed that previously, too.
We did.
That
And
was-
it was just too far south
It was a little too
on our
far.
southern trip coming
Yeah.
back. So
But Dad had decided that he really wanted to go to Dodge City.
Yes.
So we just, and it wasn't something that we had planned for, but he really wanted to go. They have a wax museum there and all this stuff, and he was just really set on going. So we're like, what the heck?
Let's do it.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
yeah.
I mean, when else are we gonna have a chance to do it?
And-
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is another case of me not booking the hotel, and and Larry booking the hotel for us.
Yes.
And it was a view right out of The Shining.
Not The Shining.
I'm not sorry, not The Shining.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. You show up, and there's 17 TVs sitting out on the
Yes.
floor, right out in front of the buildings, and you're like,
And the pool was cemented in.
yes. And it's like, oh my gosh, what happened in this hotel that you had to do all of this?
Well, in our front door to our hotel was warped. We had to like shove it and then to lock it, and then like there was a gap towards the top still.
Yeah. And I think that was still $80 a night for something like this.
And our adjoining room, the door handle wasn't even there.
So I had him shove the tube TV up against it just so nobody
Just in
could come
case.
in.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It was really bad. We actually Josh took a picture of the TVs sitting outside every door of the rooms
That was
on there.
just
So
terrible.
Yeah.
That was terrible. Ice machine broke in and everything. Gosh.
But it is what makes these trips so much fun.
Oh yeah.
and memorable.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so the
But
next
you
day
guys
we
spoiled us with the Hilton, though. You did. You definitely spoiled us with the Hilton. Any hotel would have been crappy after
That's
that.
true. But you got to stay in nice hotels.
I want my chocolate on my pillow.
Where is it?
Not at the one that Dad got, though. I don't think it'd be chocolate.
It might have a little grass on it.
Oh, gross. Kernel corn.
Gosh.
So the next day we went to go to the Wax Museum, which was the big thing that Larry wanted to do. And
yeah.
what did we find out?
They were closed.
Even though their sign said, we're open.
Yep.
They had a big sign saying, we're open. And then when you look over at the building, it says, we're closed.
Yeah, that really put
Dad
a damper
was
in Dad's day.
pissed.
He was so angry.
He was mad.
But
Yeah.
we still did get to go through, like, actual Dodge City, you know.
We did, and we got lots of
to go into
pictures.
where Miss Kitty liked to play.
Yeah, Dad was kind of in a bad mood after that.
He was.
But
He definitely was.
we took lots of pictures, and we kind of put it together in a video montage. And there's this one picture that I took. It's of a double outhouse.
Oh.
And so when we put it in the montage, I told Josh, I said, caption it, "Shitter's full." And so you can watch that on YouTube.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Got a picture of you guys in jail. That was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can find that video on our YouTube channel at Coldspot Paranormal Research.
And we actually ordered, the bar was open. I mean, wasn't
We
a
did.
bar. We
Dad-
went in there and we ordered, he got a beer.
He got a beer.
I got an
Yep.
$8 soda.
I think I did too. Azariah had a sarsaparilla.
Yeah, and I think I had like a $4 water.
Yeah. It was like being at Disneyland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
I'm going, oh gosh, okay, but no one's in here.
We're on vacation though.
Yes.
and then after our fun in Dodge City, we kept heading west. We ended up stopping in Colorado, just west of Denver, out in the
That
Rocky
was
Mountains.
cold. That was so cold.
It was cold. So Josh, Azariah, and myself stayed in a yurt, kind of up in the mountains. It was lovely.
Absolutely
It was
gorgeous.
amazing.
Yeah,
I'd
we-
never
we
stayed in
should've.
one.
We should have.
Yeah, Dad and Nicole decided to go to a hotel room, and why don't you tell us a little bit of what that was like?
Well, the hotel room gives you a key first. No cards like hotels have now. They still have the key with the keychain. And we opened it up, and the front door warped, right? So if we didn't shut it right, it wouldn't have locked or shut. And I'm looking around at this place, and it just looks dirty. And all I'm thinking is, okay, we're just here to sleep. We're just here to sleep. But I needed a shower. So I'm in the shower, and Dad can hear me screaming because it's either scalding hot or freezing cold. And he's on the phone with my mom going, I guess I'm not showering tonight. It's just like, can we just sleep? This hotel sucks. Oh, he was cracking up laughing so hard.
But we did have breakfast in town at the diner, and that was
Marion's.
amazing. Marion's?
Its name, yeah,
Marion's,
the
yeah.
little place we ate at was called Marion's. Amazing food. Beautiful view.
Absolutely.
The mountains
area
with the
was
snow.
gorgeous.
The whole side was glass, and it was just looking up at the
It was
mountains. and
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely
absolutely.
beautiful. And then we took our final leg home.
We did.
Which-
Final stretch.
Yeah, which we took the interstate. So we went through Vail, Colorado.
That's beautiful too.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And we
It-
stayed at your guys' place one more night, right? Because we got
Yep.
back so late. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you guys stayed with us, and then the trip was over. So what was it? 2,500 miles.
I think it was
Well-
more than that.
The
I think it was like 35.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, and if you think about
And I
us
think
coming
for-
back from
yeah.
here, I think ours was even longer.
For you and
Yeah.
Dad, I
Yeah.
think it was even longer.
Well, and it was almost over. We had such a great week. We're driving back home to Washington, and we're passing the Silver Dollar Bar. And the next thing I know is we're parked off to the side, and Dad's talking to me like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, "Why?" I just thought I fell asleep. No, it turns out I had a seizure.
yeah.
You know, and I have epilepsy, so it's not like my first one, but never had him in the middle of the day before. Not once. And thank goodness I wasn't behind the wheel.
Thank
Yes.
goodness. But didn't you say that you think what kicked that off might have started that was you
My
were
energy
pumping
drink
yourself
was-
on caffeine?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It'd
And
be
it
like
kinda
taking
triggered
3
it.
monsters and not moving out of a seat. That's basically what happened.
Not good.
Trying
Yeah.
to stay awake to drive. And yeah, thank goodness we had switched drivers.
Right.
kidding.
Right.
so yeah, that was an amazing, absolutely amazing trip. And I think we almost immediately after that trip, we started planning our next one.
We did. We did. And that one's coming up in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why don't we talk a little bit about where we're going with that one, Josh?
So
a little bit.
a little bit.
Just a smidge.
Yeah,
More
we'll make
live.
and we'll make it brief. We decided to go back to Waverly because we love the place so much. But we decided to take it one step further and do either 6 or 7 investigations in 2 weeks, ending in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So we decided to make the trip even longer, hit even more states, and have even more fun.
Absolutely.
So
We definitely got to go back to Branson
absolutely.
and go to some of those concerts. Go see a fake Elvis. Why not? Dad
I'm
would be
for
right
it.
there with us because that's the one thing he wanted to do in Branson was go to all of those shows. And he knew we couldn't.
We could do that.
Yeah.
But for those of you that don't know, this 2023 trip will be in Dad's honor. And, you know, Dad, we lost him October 9th of 2020.
6 months ago tomorrow.
Yeah. And so this was a trip that we were planning. Dad was psyched to go. And I remember he told me, one of our last talks was that one thing I was to do is to make sure that my sister Nicole goes. He made me promise.
Yeah, you're just saying that.
Oh, you're going to find out.
Oh, great.
And he also said that he may not be there physically, but that he will be going on that damn trip. And he says, I'll be there, damn it. And I believe him. I do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this one will be in Dad's honor. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it's going to be an epic trip. That's just like anything that we're going to do. But it's going to be emotional, and it's going to be quite wonderful in the same token.
Yeah.
The cemetery in Kansas.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Nicole?
Oh my gosh.
You know.
Okay. Oh, I know. Yes. I have been a huge fan of the show Supernatural. Came out in October of 2005, and I've watched every episode, including the last one. And one of their main finales was in this cemetery in Kansas City. Is that right? Kansas City, I believe.
No.
Lawrence.
No, Lawrence.
It's just outside of Lawrence,
That's right,
Kansas.
Lawrence, Kansas. And they have this huge showdown, and Jamie brought up that cemetery, in Lawrence, Kansas, and she said, we're going to go to it. I was like, you are kidding me. Really? And I just got so
Josh
excited.
actually originally had the idea, and then I kind of added to it and says, you know what? I'm going to get those stand-up cardboard life-size of Dean and Sam.
Right there.
We're going to stand and we're going to stage them around the cemetery, and we're all going to take turns kind of acting out some of the scenes. We're going to get some pictures. And we're just going to have a lot of fun with it, So,
As long as we don't get to explode like Castiel, I think we'll be fine.
Butt.
hey, ass butt.
Yeah.
That's your ringtone, by
As
the
long
way.
as we don't get to explode.
Well, that was the thing, right?
I got to bring Castiel with me. I've got a Castiel bobblehead.
Oh,
He can
see,
go
that's
right
perfect.
with us. Yes.
But yeah, that was the thing, right? Because Lucifer got out, he snapped his fingers, and Castiel
Boom,
exploded
Castiel exploded.
into
A mist.
A mist, yeah. So
But God brought him back.
yes, he did.
But some of the other places we're going to go to the Basilica Axe Murder House. We will be staying the night in the house. We're going to go to Lake Shawnee Amusement Park.
Yeah.
We will be setting up tents and staying the night out there.
Scares the crap out of me.
Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, which will be
Yes.
the first actual insane asylum that we'll have investigated.
Lunatic
Penhurst.
Asylum.
We're doing Penhurst.
Penhurst.
Yeah.
And also potentially the Ohio State Reformatory.
Potentially.
Potentially. So that is the plan for locations on that trip, and we'll just see kind of what we hit. And then also on the way back, also in Larry's honor, we are going to stop by the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio.
Ooh,
Yes.
nice.
So
Yeah.
found out that it's a short trip away on our way back. And so it's like, hey, we're going to be going through this area anyway. Might as well stop off in Canton.
That is
Yes.
so cool. Yeah.
And we are also planning on doing a team lunch at Bobby Mackey's.
Never heard of Bobby Mackey's.
What?
Yeah. See, now you're going to explain it to me. Bob Mackey, didn't he do the dresses?
No, Bobby
No.
Mackey is the singer who opened up his own bar, who claims he has a portal to hell in his basement.
Oh,
Several
How inviting.
I know. Like, let's go.
several investigation groups have gone there, including Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures. It is also a place that you can rent out and investigate. So if you guys are interested or live in that area, I would highly recommend going and eating or investigating if you so choose.
But save your pennies because it is quite pricey.
Yeah.
And it is quite short.
And I go back to work next week, so woohoo! Save those pennies.
That's
Save
right.
those pennies.
So that's kind of our trip from 2017.
No. 2017, 2019.
2017
Yeah.
and 2019. Sorry.
And our upcoming trip in 2023.
And our upcoming trip. I'm sorry. I for some reason thought it was like 2019 again.
No,
We're living in the past.
I'd like this
I-
part
no
to be
kidding,
over
right?
with. Let's keep going forward.
Right? So we're going to actually get you all to know Nicole a little bit better. Nicole, what got you into the paranormal?
Well, ever since I was little, I've had a thing for scary movies. I'm one of the only people in my family that like to watch scary movies, even if it's terrifying. And so that was always like, it was, like Freddy Krueger, Jason, stuff like that,
Stuff that terrified the crap out of me.
That terrified the crap out of you, but that you knew couldn't possibly be real. At least that was my thought. Then I slowly got into the paranormal stuff. Oh gosh, you guys remember Unsolved Mysteries?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Ghost Hunters. I watched that all the time. Every time it came on, it was recorded, I watched it. But the one thing is, I used to have this reoccurring dream all the time when I was younger. And it was always of someone standing at the foot of my bed. Someone would always be standing at the foot of my bed. And I would close my eyes, open them up, and they would get closer and closer. And when that dream just kept happening, I remember my aunt telling me, well, maybe it's not a dream. Maybe you have an angel watching over you. And I go, oh, interesting. But then I stayed the night at my sister's one night at her old house. And she had these 2 wall sconces on the back of the wall. And there was a bunch of people there, so I was sleeping on the living room floor. I open my eyes, and still to this day, I can see the man with the overalls just standing underneath the lights. And I remember not even closing my eyes. I just stared at him until eventually I fell back to sleep. But that, along with many other EVPs I've heard, has gotten me into the paranormal. And I know that it's absolutely nothing to be afraid of.
That's correct.
Yep.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
As they say.
And I had, my brother passed away, our brother passed away in 2005.
Yeah.
And when I start getting dimes everywhere,
Yeah.
in the most random place, I mean, yeah, you can find a dime on the floor and just think, okay, someone dropped their change. But when you're getting it inside your shoes you just bought, or on top of your leftovers that you just left a restaurant with,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't explain that. It's unexplainable. And so I believe that was my brother saying hi a lot.
Yeah. I believe that too.
Yeah.
100%.
And then just these little things all over the place, things that happen that you cannot explain. I mean, I could scientific the crap out of some stuff, but it's still going to be me guessing. It's not going to be for sure.
Yeah.
And then knowing, getting into this with you guys, Waverly was fantastic. Even the small part of that Deer Lodge I went to was cool what we got. When she set that flashlight in the cell, nobody was near it. You could see front, behind, everything. And the light was going off with her questions. And I'm just going, okay, seeing this on TV and seeing it in person is way different.
It's kind of trippy, ain't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then your dowsing rods.
Mm-hmm. Those are my go-tos.
Seeing them be answering questions, like specific questions.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And just amazing at the same time. I mean, you can't go through an investigation and get tired. I stopped doing Deer Lodge because I was freezing, but not once did I get tired.
Right.
It was just, maybe a little draining, but remember, you got drained that night too.
Yeah.
Your energy was gone.
So Josh, my son, was with us, and he was scared, obviously. He wanted to do this. We didn't push him to do it. We said, this would be a good place. You're with mom and dad. We're right here.
Yeah.
But he kept leaning his head on me, and I felt like a battery being drained, like he was sucking my energy. Mm-hmm. And I got really, really tired.
Yeah.
Really quick because he was scared, and it's like it was just draining me. Yeah.
Well, Dad has been into the paranormal since as long as I can remember. Mm-hmm. He used to say that somebody was playing his bass when he was sleeping at night.
I remember this.
I'd go to sleep and someone is playing my bass.
Just
and I
this
knew
one
that
note.
place was haunted. Just one note over and over. Until he realized it was my mom snoring.
At least she was in tune.
Yes. So he almost got bummed out. He's like, dang it.
He was
thought someone was playing my
disappointed.
bass.
And through everything, the one thing that Dad and I could really relate on was the paranormal.
Oh, yeah. It was a nice little thing you guys had together,
It was awesome.
Yes.
And he, all of us that like the paranormal, we all just can relate. And it was nice. There was this connection.
Instead of you talking to someone and seeing them look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah, like you're just off the wall, right? But yeah, just amazing.
Yeah.
But I remember when we were all younger, and the House on Adams, and I brought over the sightings cassette or VHS,
Yes.
and we put it in. And we were watching the sightings, and they were they were letting you listen to these EVPs saying, "I'm up with Betty."
I'm up with Betty. Yes.
And I was seeing the war, and these were a couple of EVPs. And
I was seeing the war.
So we'd tell Will, Dad would tell Will when we were done watching this, Will, go down to the basement and shut off the lights. And he was scared because it's a little frightening, and you'd hear him go downstairs, and Dad's like, and. Don't come up with Betty, and then you'd hear the light go, and then you'd hear Will go, And he was booking it up the stairs. And Dad's like, look out, she's behind you.
Well, and I used to terrify my mom and my dad because I'd be in the basement and you have the home phones that we used to have. No one has them anymore.
Right.
I'd be downstairs and I hit the intercom and I'd go, they're here. And my mom's like, Nikki, shut up. She's like, don't do that. Poltergeist always terrified her.
Good.
So, what is the scariest thing you've ever seen?
Paranormal
Paranormal.
wise.
Paranormal. I was going to say, yeah. Oh, okay. We lived in this house, Princeton, I want to say the street was. I was young, and I have very few memories from that house, but I do have one because every day me and my friend Jennifer would go by this house that was next door to me, and we would peek in the windows, and no one lived there, but you saw boxes and boxes of just clothes all over the floor, and they were like tipping out of the boxes. We're kids, okay, so this was stupid. We tried going in, but the slider door was always, shut and locked, and so instead, every time we'd play in that backyard and look through the windows to see, just messing around. I'm sleeping one night, and I just wake up, don't know why I woke up, you just do, and the light upstairs in that house is on, and it never usually is.
Right.
So I'm going, oh, someone does live there, okay. And I lay back down to go to sleep, and then I wake up again, and the light's off. But nobody lives there. But that happened for like 3 nights in a row. The light would turn on and off. And so I never went in the backyard of this place again.
Was it always just around the same time?
I wish I knew. I just knew it was always when I was in bed. So
Yeah.
it had to have been. Yeah.
So it probably was.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, very strange. Yeah. And I couldn't tell you if it was 3 a.m. or not, but I remember just everybody was asleep. And I'm going, why? Who is in this house?
Right?
But that house never sold. It stayed empty until the day we moved out.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that was, I was young enough for that to terrify the heck out of me.
Well, they always say, obviously if you're feeling those feelings, and they say that paying attention to how you feel in your gut instinct and all that is the best instrument that you could have.
I just
an
remember,
investigation tool.
I remember my brain playing games with me. I'm going, nope, keep looking at it. Keep looking at it. No, turn away. No, don't turn away. Keep
Right.
looking at it. And it would be one of those things that you keep looking at until it's like, okay, good night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of those things, right? Like, you want to see something happen,
Yes.
but you don't want to see something happen because
Yeah.
you know what's going to terrify you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But you can't look away.
But even
Yeah.
seeing that person in my sister's house didn't scare me. He was just there.
Right.
It didn't scare me. And Mindy, to this day, that's the one time she believes me about this stuff. She said she believes that because for years afterwards, my story never changed. She's like, you were terrified to sleep in my living room.
Yeah.
She's like, I believe you actually saw something, and I'm glad I don't live there anymore.
Yeah, Minnie's not really into
Not
it.
so much.
It does
no.
scare her.
Neither
a
is
bit.
Mom. She refuses to listen
She
when
does.
we come home.
Yeah.
She's like, stop. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
She'll get up and leave the room. She's like, bye.
So I know we touched on this a little bit before, but what was your first investigation, paranormal investigation that you had?
Oh, it had to have been the cemetery here.
That's right.
Yeah, the cemetery right up the street from the house. We had gotten these new equipment, and we wanted to check them out. Well, we were told you weren't supposed to do it in your own house. And we
Don't
did it
investigate
anyway.
your own house.
We did it, but we did say goodbye, And,
Yeah.
and besides, we already knew something was here anyway.
Yeah.
Not Derek.
It's not Derek. Yeah.
Not Derek.
Was your name Derek? No. Okay, so it's not Derek. So that's the only way we know who lives here, not
There
Derek.
you call him now. Not Derek.
Yeah. But then we decided, hey, let's go to the cemetery. The weirdest part about that is we all had our machines on, but the second we stepped out of the car to go into the cemetery, they all shut off.
They didn't work. They
They
malfunctioned.
did not work. They malfunctioned. And not just one person, all of ours
All of them.
quit working. And
Yeah.
it was just the weirdest flipping thing. And one of our most skeptical sisters, Ashley, she even said, okay, that's strange.
Yeah. She admitted it was
She
pretty
admitted
strange.
it was weird.
And it's fair to say, though, that there was a thunder and lightning
Very true,
storm
yes.
out that night.
Very true.
I don't know if that had anything to do with it. It's always possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, electrical interference can happen, right?
Absolutely. It was just really, but there was something weird about it, though, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's just everything,
You
going
could hear
haywire.
the doors open, though. You could hear the doors open, and
Yeah.
then right after that, it just cuts off.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it doesn't come back on. It doesn't kick back in and start recording until we get back in the car.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the minute we stepped outside of the vehicle, they quit working. But when we got back in, they all started working.
It's almost like entering a giant Faraday cage.
There you go.
What is that?
those are they're EMF blockers.
Oh, they are? Okay.
So you'd put it something like if you're concerned about outside EMF interference, you put it in a Faraday cage, and you would not have that type of interference.
Gotcha.
So, but I mean, you're talking about electronics just not working, which is,
Well, and how fast the batteries drain sometimes, too. You're going, all that energy, is just going.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
And then we did, we did the Eagles Club here.
Yes, the Fraternal Order of the Eagles up here in Deer Park. We did do that, and Dad actually set that up.
Yeah, he did.
Which was pretty
cool.
cool.
Which was great. And we got some in the smoking room. We always got something out there.
Yeah.
And
which is weird because
it's so strange.
It's the newest addition to the building.
Yeah.
And it's like within the last, couple decades?
Yeah.
So it's real new.
Yeah, exactly. It's new, but we're out there and we're being quiet. We had Kaylin and Eric with us.
We did.
And they were really into it too, which kind of shocked me. Kaylin loves to razz me and stuff about this stuff, but she's into it.
Well, her and Eric did actually really great.
They did.
I know they were a last minute addition to come in and join us, and they had never been on one. But they helped with setup.
Didn't we get an EVP that said something Larry or...
Yeah,
but it was one of Dad's
did.
friends, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I can't quite remember what it was, but we did get something.
But it was. Dad heard it, and he got all teary-eyed because he says he knew exactly who it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We got very little out of that, and we did get some EVPs and stuff, but they were real light.
Because the building was so small, we had too many people for the amount of the building. We didn't walk away with a lot, so we didn't do an episode or anything on it because it was just too much interference, too many people there.
A lot of contamination.
So we had to kind of just scrap it, which I felt bad about because Dad set this up.
Well, and we got stuff too. That's
and
what
we
got
did.
me.
We did.
Yeah.
I had set a digital recorder up on the podium. And
you did
it
your
was
dowsing
erased.
rods.
Yeah, but the digital was erased. I walked away with nothing.
Zero.
Are you serious?
That dowsing rod session that I did, and it was just you and I in there.
Yeah.
I walked away with nothing on the digital.
No.
But we did get it on video.
Video, yes.
Yes.
So you
So-
can see them, yeah.
Yes.
Giving you a hug.
Yeah.
That was just, I've
Was
never
that
seen
amazing?
dowsing rods do that.
That was
Just
amazing.
completely turned around and tapped your shoulder.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Well, see, and that's when I use my rods. I have kind of a way of knowing who I'm talking to. Like if it's Will,
yeah.
I have him, bring him around and flip him around and touch my arms, and then pull them up and then back. So they're tapping
okay.
my arms off and on, and that's how I know it's Will. And then if it's my best friend Sarah who passed, then I have her just bring him around and just lay him on my arms.
No tapping.
And
Yeah.
no tapping. So I
Wow.
can tell the difference.
And if I'm correct, you guys say when you have dowsing rods, they're yours. They're attached to you, right? So letting other people use them or borrow them is kind of a no-no?
You can let other people use them. Personally, for me, those are mine.
Yeah.
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 I'm very picky about somebody else who's a big user of dowsing rods. I will let use them typically.
Yeah.
Like I know Mike has, when we were in there and he asked to use them to confirm a few things. It's like, go ahead. I don't have a problem with that because he's very big in the dowsing rods, just like Terry, his
Yeah.
wife, same thing. So
And I've used them on occasion too. Unless I forget mine, I usually want to use them. So
yeah, exactly.
but yeah, no, there's kind of a bond, like a connection with them, and so it becomes a very personal thing. And so it's kind of like, letting someone use something that's very close and dear to you. So you try to be respectful of people in that avenue.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and you guys had a good dowsing rod session. You guys talked
Yeah.
with an old family friend.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I was with Eric and Kaylin, and I did a dowsing rod session with them. And we had a conversation with one of Eric's loved ones. And what's cool about that, in that avenue, is I didn't know anything about this woman.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric didn't know a whole lot either, mainly because she passed away when he was very young. And so when he went home and told his mom what had happened and the information that we gathered, she was able to confirm all of it.
Oh, wow.
And so we made believers out of 2 people right there.
Yeah, you
It
did.
was amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then you guys came with us to the prison.
Yes.
So you've been on what, 3? Is that
if
correct
you count,
now?
because we went to the prison, Waverly,
And then the Eagles.
the Eagles. So 3 investigations, and if we're not counting what we did here and at the cemetery, because I don't know if that would be considered a full-on investigation because it was
No.
just pulled out of our hats.
It was, hey, we got a new toy. Let's go down the
Yeah,
cemetery.
okay.
Let's see what we can do.
Well, and I
let's
wanted
go
to do
play.
the 1,000
Let's go
Step
play.
Cemetery here in Spokane, but they are huge on people trespassing.
Oh, I'm
Like
sure.
they will not allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I kind of want to put out there is you never go somewhere where you do not have permission ever.
Yeah.
For many reasons. One, if nobody knows you're there and you get hurt, it's nobody's gonna know you're there.
Exactly.
And 2, if you're trespassing, I mean that's not okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and what happens too, if you're trespassing on property, haunted or not, right? You can start ruining it for other people who want to be able to go and visit. And a great case in point of that is St. Anne's Retreat over in Logan Valley,
Yes.
or Logan Canyon. They want to open that up, or they've wanted to open that up to paranormal investigation groups, but people will not stay off the property and stop trespassing, and so they won't open it up. And so we just got to be respectful of the places that we're going and not be a butthead.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is there were talks about opening it up to paranormal groups to come and investigate. But yeah, because of people and they got security cameras. They got these people on camera
Yeah.
And security guards.
guards. But here's the thing. St. Anne's Retreat is up for sale now, though. So I think
It is.
any chance of whoever owns it now and is putting it up for sale, letting anybody come in and investigate, are pretty much nil. Hopefully, if someone buys it, maybe they're going to buy it for the purpose of opening it up for those sort of things and renting or whatever. But we don't know.
No.
We just don't know. It
No.
would be amazing, though. But, and that's another thing I want to touch on is you get paranormal groups that go out there and they'll vandalize or, they'll do some stupid stuff. And we've known of locations that, will no longer let paranormal groups come in because of people like this.
Yeah.
And it makes me so angry.
Yeah.
Just the sheer disrespect. And you give us all a bad name. We're a serious group. We're out here and we're trying to do something and something we enjoy and love.
Yeah.
And we want to know the history and tell the story of those that, are there, that are spirits that are, might be there. And you have these other groups that come in and they do crap like this, and it ruins it for everybody.
It does. It ruins it for everybody. And so, for those that do go out and investigate either on your own or within groups or even going out public, please be respectful of the property and the places that you're going, and be respectful of the spirits that you're talking with,
Absolutely. Yes.
because you do not want to ruin this experience for other people. We want to make sure that we allow other people after us and to come in and enjoy and experience things that we've experienced.
100%.
All right. We just want to say thank you for coming out and hanging out with us today. Find us on Facebook at
Paranormal Peeps Podcast.
And you can also find us on Facebook at Coldspot Paranormal Research and our Facebook group. You can find us at Instagram at Coldspot_paranormal_research. And you can also find us on YouTube at Coldspot Paranormal Research.
Yes, and as a reminder, guys, go check out the Holiday Road video montage that we
Yes.
did of our trip to Kentucky. Yes. It was the first major trip with our dad, and it was also, unfortunately, the last. Yeah. But it's amazing, and it's something that we hold so dear to our hearts,
absolutely.
Especially now.
Yep.
Go check it out.
I think, like I said, I thank you guys every day for planning that, because it was the last trip we had with him.
And it was unforgettable.
And it was absolutely unforgettable.
Absolutely.
If you guys get a chance to do anything like that, do it. I promise you will enjoy it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Stay ghosty, my peeps. Thank you for listening to the Paranormal Peeps Podcast. You can find us on social media at Twitter at CPR Paranormal, on Facebook at Paranormal Peeps Podcast and Coldspot Paranormal Research. And you can find us on Instagram at Coldspot_paranormal_research.